My name's Dan Meyerhoff, and I am the Executive Director for the Kansas Association of Conservation Districts. Our association represents and advocates for the 105 individual conservation districts across Kansas. We became involved with the SAVE Farm about 3 years ago. The SAVE organization came down and gave a presentation at our annual convention in Wichita. And we liked the story we heard, we liked SAVE's mission and their determination in helping veterans and military members transitioning back to civilian life to look at opportunities for careers in agriculture. And that really ties into our mission as well.
SAVE Farm's here to help out veterans like myself who really had a difficult time transitioning from military service, coming to the civilian world. It gives you a chance to understand a little bit more about ag and get to know the community a little bit better.
So we had a meeting out here with the Kansas Land Improvement Contractors Association, KACD, and the Natural Resources Conservation Service to talk about ways that we could be working with SAVE and helping them to meet their conservation mission and using this as a classroom for training their veterans.
When SAVE got this farm, they had some real erosion problems on some of their croplands, so we're out here today, and LICA board members are out here redoing their terrace system, and they're putting a tile outlet terrace system in for them, which will save that erosion and keep the soil in place where it's supposed to be, so they've got a nice cropland field that they can work with out here, and they don't have the erosion and the ditches that they've been farming around for the last few years.
Traditionally, terraces are put in to achieve two things. One is to slow the movement of water down the hill, so it reduces soil erosion. And two is to increase the percolation of water into the soil. So erosion, a higher quality runoff, more percolation into the soil.
So this is what they call tile, which is actually pipe, and it will go clear to an outlet that will not cause erosion. And the excavator will trench the ditch. You put the pipe in the ditch where it can be farmed over the top of, and it'll run clear up into a terrace, possibly more than one. And the terrace is designed to be lower at the point where the pipe comes through. The water will drain into the tile and out of the field at an area that doesn't cause erosion. For this area, it's the optimal thing to use. Gradients with waterways would work here, but the waterways take time to establish. If you use the tiles, we can get in, we can get out and have it done.
It should last them 40, 50 years. They shouldn't have to do anything else to it if they maintain them the way it is.
The SAVE Farm actually worked through their local conservation district to get a conservation plan out here. And when they got that conservation plan put together, they applied for EQIP funding through the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, and NRCS, Natural Resources Conservation Service. They were approved for that EQIP funding, and the KACD board members are out here volunteering their time and taking time away from work they could be doing at home to put these practices in for them out here. So they think it's a real good deal. They want to help the SAVE Farm out. They're definitely wanting to help our veterans out. And the partnership with NRCS and the conservation districts, that's something that KACD works with every day, getting conservation on the ground through NRCS designs and NRCS or federal funding. There is also some state funding that helps out through conservation districts, but our board members work daily with conservation districts and the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service to help agriculture and help get conservation work on the ground.
The Kansas Association of Conservation Districts is a nonprofit organization, and what we do is we advocate and provide support to the 105 individual conservation districts in Kansas. Those individual conservation districts are the primary local unit of government responsible for conserving soil and water and other related resources at the county level. Conservation districts work closely in partnership with the Natural Resources Conservation Service, with the Division of Conservation. Those three entities, along with the State Conservation Commission, have a formal agreement they call the Kansas Conservation Partnership. When we met out here with the Kansas Land Improvement Contractors and the Natural Resources Conservation Service, our primary role was kind of bringing everybody together and helping to organize things. We talk about conservation districts, their primary role is to collaborate, educate, and implement conservation practices. They're great at collaborating with other organizations, with other agencies, local, state, federal agencies, and then implement. Conservation districts have that local delivery system of being in every county in the state. And so they can deliver conservation practices, deliver programs, working closely hand in hand with NRCS, because we're, for the most part, I think in 95 of the 105 counties in Kansas, we're co-located with NRCS. NRCS is a great partner. We partner with NRCS on a lot of different projects, and they've spent a lot of hours, a lot of time out here designing the practices, laying the practices out, working with the contractors as all this is being implemented. During that initial field day, that's when we talked about doing the terracing, the other work we could do out here. Talked about ways to help finance it, and maybe having a small field day to educate others about SAVE and their mission.
Today, we're having a field day, basically for all the local contractors and individuals that are into the land improvement business. This is their opportunity to come out and see what the individual volunteer contractors from KACD was able to accomplish out on our crop field. With those guys being able to actually see the work, it kind of enables them to say, okay, if this is possible here, maybe it's possible somewhere else, and I can help out another farmer or rancher to improve the soil and the land on their property.
It's a pretty big job to do in a week. I mean, there was over 10,000 feet of terraces to build and over 2,500 feet of pipe to install underground. So, and that's a lot of work. You got to get in the trenches. You got to get in the trench and put the pipe together. And when you got a heat index of 108 degrees, it's not fun being in a trench 4 feet, 5 feet deep. It's pretty warm. I'm thankful for the people that showed up this week to work and help out on this project. And we like working with NRCS, with KACD, and so we try to work with government agencies to be on the same page and try to make things better for the environment. We've got cooperation from several manufacturers and local dealers. Murphy Tractor supplied us with the motor grader. Can Equip supplied us with the JCB excavator. Foley Tractor supplied us with a Caterpillar excavator and a Caterpillar dozer. And Berry Tractor supplied us with a Komatsu dozer. And then we have Modern Ag out here. They mounted GPS on 2 of the machines to help us with grade control and stuff. And so anybody can get in and run it and know where they're at and be able to build this. And so we're here to demo equipment as well as to get this project done for the SAVE Farm.
Everything out here has been donated. The time of the contractors to come out here and do the work, the materials, the machinery, and everything that's being done out here has been donated through our contractor and associate members. So this is really, I think, a good thing for the farm, and it's something that the association believes in and is willing to donate to and make happen out here.
SAVE Farm is a place where we see that regenerative agriculture gets advanced, the health of our streams gets advanced, the health of our groundwater and other water resources is benefited, and we address the fact that veterans are a group of people who need and deserve our support. And we address the fact that the United States is going to be short a ton of farmers over the next 20 to 50 years. We've got to be giving people opportunity to enter farming, and SAVE Farm is a place that happens for veterans, for healthy soils, for healthy streams, for fish and wildlife habitat, for a healthy environment. Why wouldn't we be involved in it? So the Nature Conservancy is a longtime financial partner. We're also a technical partner. Some of our scientists are involved with SAVE Farm and their programs. And we're in it for the long haul. And SAVE Farm is going to be a great influence for all those things, people in the environment going far into the future.
We all have the same goal. We all have the same mission, and that is improving and protecting our natural resources.